Do you believe in reincarnation? Do you remember your past life? Tons of people claim that they do. They often have vivid memories of their past life, like the people on today's list. From a woman who might be the reincarnation of famous author Virginia Woolf, to a man who remembers being a soldier getting shot while on duty. Let's talk about these cases and more only in today's video. Top 10 dark past life memories. Also, let me know in the comments below if you remember your past life, and feel free to share some stories of your own. Starting off this countdown, we have Edward Austrian. When Edward Austrian was just 4, he started to say that he was a soldier from World War I. He kept saying that he passed away after taking a bullet to the throat. In fact, Edward would constantly get sore throats, and when this would happen, he would say his shot wound was hurting. Doctors couldn't even explain why he was constantly getting these sore throats, and in fact, he even developed a cyst in his throat at one point. After Edward started talking more about his past life, this cyst mysteriously went away on its own. He claims that he was a soldier named James that was 18 years old. One day he said he was walking along through the mud. It was cold and damp out and his rifle was heavy. He then remembers looking out and seeing trees. That's when he heard a shot come from behind. It went through someone else and hit him square in the back of the neck, and he felt his throat fill with blood. Now, there's no way a 4-year-old could have made up those details, especially since his parents claimed that they never let him watch any soldier or war-related movies or shows. So it's pretty spooky if you ask me. In our 9th spot, we have the bad man. And if you guys are liking this video so far, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up because it really helps us out. This next story was shared by a man named Halar. According to him, his cousin remembers his past life. In fact, he had some pretty creepy dark things to say about it. He said that he was once a man named Ghazi, but he died after some bad guy cut off his fingers one by one. Then he got run over by a jeep. After that, he was reborn into the man he is today. I mean, that's a pretty terrifying thing to remember if you ask me. In our 8th spot, we have the horseback riding accident. This story was shared by mother Veronica Alamri, whose son remembers his past life. She states that when her son was around the age of 2, he would constantly talk about being a grown man that would ride his horses through the woods. However, he said that one day he died while riding. He claims that everything went dark, and that's when he had a new mommy. Veronica asked her son where he got hurt, and all he did was point to a birthmark on his stomach. Now, rumor has it that birthmarks tell some sort of story from our past lives. In this case, it symbolized how he passed away. His mom believes that he fell off of his horse and landed on something sharp that punctured his stomach in his past life. Pretty terrifying. Moving on to number 7, we have the bad dream. This story was shared by Reddit user Squeezes That Pleases. Pretty creepy name. When he was younger, he would have this reoccurring dream about getting kidnapped while at the beach. He was playing in the sand when he was approached by 2 men that lured him away with promises of a snack and a puppy. He walked away with the man, and after that, everything went fuzzy. I should mention that in this dream, he was a little girl. So he believes that this is something that actually happened to him in his past life as a girl. In our 6th spot, we have James Leininger. James was born in 1998, and ever since he was 2, he talked about being a lieutenant that passed away when his plane was shot down. At first, his parents brushed off their son's claim, saying that he just had a wild imagination. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't know of any kids that know the word lieutenant at that age. But anyways, eventually they were forced to believe that their son was telling the truth, because his nightmares about this plane crash got really bad. When they researched into this plane crash, they found that there was an American pilot named Lieutenant James Houston Jr., who passed away in 1945 towards the end of World War II. Now, the lieutenant story was a perfect match to the one that James was sharing. First off, what are the odds that he gets reincarnated and his parents literally pick the same name? His parents then met Lieutenant James's crew, who were old, but they confirmed the details that little James mentioned, saying that they were all accurate, and only the lieutenant and the crew could have known that. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the soldier. This story was shared by Reddit user Thorny Dame. One night she had a vivid dream about being a male soldier in a war. The dream ended when she got shot in the leg. In fact, she woke up in immense pain. Her leg was throbbing. When she pulled up her pants to see if her leg was okay, she discovered a birthmark there that she had never seen before. The birthmark was in the exact place where she had been shot in the dream. So this woman believes that she was a male soldier in her past life, who passed away while on duty. Moving on to number 4, we have the great aunt. Okay, buckle your seatbelts because this one is quite crazy. So this was shared on Reddit by the user CPazGrayvoodle. When she was in junior high, she came downstairs one morning and shared a weird dream that she had. The dream was that she had a baby and kept it in a shoebox. She thought it was just a random crazy dream, but according to her mom, that's what her relatives did to her great aunt. I know, it's so messed up, but let me explain. So her great aunt was born in 1905 and was a premature baby. Apparently her parents kept her in a shoebox in the gas oven. The oven was not on, okay? Only the light was on. It was basically like a DIY incubator. She passed away in her 50s from cancer. But get this, over the years, this woman shared more and more similarities with her great aunt. She would go to her grandparents' house and say like, "Ooh, I like this." Turns out everything that she liked was her great aunt's. Then one time she went to a family gathering and old acquaintances of her great aunt were there. As she entered the living room, she saw this old lady and immediately had a hate on for her. She had no clue who she was or why she felt so negative about her. Well, it turns out that that woman had an affair with her great aunt's husband while she was sick of cancer. So this girl believes that she is the reincarnation of her great aunt. Coming in at number 3, we have Frozen. This next story was shared by a man named Paul V. For the longest time, Paul was certain that he knew the way he was going to pass away. And that's because he kept having reoccurring dreams where he would freeze to death. In the dreams, he saw himself laying in the snow, frozen, and then he saw his soul rise out of his body. After experiencing this dream for a number of times, he realized that it wasn't a prediction for the way that he was going to die, but it was a memory from his past life. He realized that this had already happened to him, and that's how his past life ended. Pretty spooky if you ask me. Moving on to number 2, we have Virginia Woolf. Okay, this next story fascinates me. So this woman's daughter might have been famous writer Virginia Woolf in her past life. So when she was 12, she would have dreams about being underwater and seeing faces underwater. Not only that, but one day she just started talking about Virginia Woolf, and she knew so much information about her. Well, when they looked her up, the day that she had the dream about being underwater was the anniversary of Virginia Woolf's death by drowning. Well, you know, that's freaky. Not only that, but Virginia Woolf and the daughter are prolific writers and both bisexual. So it may just be that her daughter is Virginia Woolf reincarnated. And in our number 1 spot, we have the boy from Thailand. At the age of 3, a boy named Chennai started having memories of his past life. This 3-year-old boy would remember being a teacher named Bua Kai. He talked about his previous family, wife, and children. Turns out that Bua Kai is a real person. He passed away about 5 years before Chennai was born. Now, Chennai claims that he passed away after being shot in the head walking to school. That was the exact same way Bua Kai passed away. To make matters even freakier is that Chennai has 2 birthmarks on his face, one on the back of his head and one above his left eye. Those are the exact spots where the bullet entered and exited Bua Kai's head. Like I mentioned before, birthmarks are said to be a symbol of your past life and are supposed to tell some sort of story from your past life. In this case, it symbolizes how he was killed in his past life. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know which one of these stories freaked you out the most. And now let's move on to our comment shout out portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video Top 10 Scary Disney Movie Theories Part 5. Aaron Burr Atwood commented, Alice just figured out that we are all in the Matrix and realized that she can bend time and space because it didn't really exist. Interesting, okay. Kinda dig the theory, but you need to support it, you know, give me some more facts, support your theory, and then present it to me and we'll see. K. Anthony Sty commented, hey Lindsay, what if Alice was Mary Poppins' daughter no one knew about? Okay, how would that even be possible? Again, you need to give me some facts, give me some hard evidence, then present it to me, and I'll see if I can roll with the theory. Chloe Nulata commented, you know Lindsay's serious when she comes close to the camera. Okay, I don't come close to the camera. The editors zoom into my face. I'm not just all of a sudden like right up against the camera. That would be hilarious if that was the case. But no, I rewatched the video and every time I come close to the camera, it's just the editors cropping into my face, which is hilarious. Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see ya. When they researched into this plane crash, they found there was an American pilot named Lieutenant James Houston. I want to go Houston. Houston, I want to go Houston. Okay. Houston. And coming in at number 1, we have the boy from Thailand. Thailand?
Thailand.
Thailand, thank you. Thailand. Thailand. Thailand? People say Thailand? Thailand.
I think it's Thailand.
Thailand. That's Thailand.
Thailand.
Thailand.